video, I'll explain why we sleep, and once we sleep, we go into the dream world, and why do we dream and what happens in our dreams. So starting off with the technical part, technical is nothing but what happens or what is the duration of the dream that we have every day. So basically it is said we approximately have a dream of say 90 minutes, and these 90 minutes could be a span of in 7.5 hours totally. We can have multiple dream cycles. For example, let's expand this chart. If you say 90 minutes per dream and the entire duration of our sleep including our dreams is some 7.5 hours, so which means we have dreaming states of 90 minutes each, and this could vary from person to person. So what happens is we go into deep sleep, and we also have shallow dreaming states. And shallow dreaming states are when we are it's a shallow dreaming state. It's you're lying down for say 6 to 7 hours, lying down in the sense you're sleeping, but only a portion of the time you're in deep sleep and the rest of the time you're half asleep. Half asleep in the sense you are dreaming, you are seeing certain, it's like a movie that you're watching up after you go back to sleep. Some are happy and very peaceful, and at the same time there could be dreams which make you run for your life. So in such instances we are half asleep because we struggle to get out of that dream or that sleep. Next is our physically what happens when we sleep, or physically what is the explanation of sleep, why do we sleep. Also once we go to sleep, why do we dream. So coming to why we sleep, let me close these once again. So what happens is when we need sleep because the physical body has its limitations, you know. We can't be, sleep is a natural call, you know, just like you have natural call for so many other things. Likewise, you know, when you're working for 7-8 hours at a stretch, and you work for, you know, the entire day, you it automatically and naturally you feel sleepy. So this is like a naturally we have been designed that way. And also we sleep to recharge. Those are like batteries. We need you know, those, once we sleep we recharge our batteries for the next day. Also applies as per in sync with our natural laws. So after night there is a day, after, you know, there's seasonal change. There are different laws in the universe. Likewise, this also, after sleep we are awake again. After being awake we go to sleep. So this is also a kind of a law of change, and you know, we need to rejuvenate, we need to recharge, and that's why we sleep. So what happens when we sleep? During the sleep, what happens? Let's break it down. I've broken it down to 2 components to understand it better. During our sleep, what happens is when we are awake during the daytime, our consciousness is centered around our sensory nerves and muscles. Sensory nerves are the 5 senses that we have: eat, touch, feel, see, hear. So mostly during the daytime you need your you know, your sight, your eyesight, your eyes to see, process things. That's when your consciousness is centered around that particular sense. When you want to eat, your you know, your saliva, your tongue, those sensory nerves have to be active, and all your consciousness is surrounded to address that particular sensation. Likewise, during the daytime we see that we are active and functional and we have to have these 5 senses active and alive during the daytime, and we need our muscles to move around, which is why these sensory nerves get the maximum focus and attention during the day. During the night, what happens is the consciousness centers around the vital organs and the spine. Vital organs, why? Because when we sleep, we do not need our senses, these senses, you know, the sees, we are sleeping, we don't need to see anything, we don't need those kind of processing in the night. So these kind of, they rest, and then These vital organs get the focus, or they get the time to, that is the period when the consciousness gets centered around these vital organs like liver, your heart, etc. So when your vital organs, so which is why also I'm sure you all have heard, your liver repair time happens in the night, and the liver repair time is around 1 to 3 a.m. in the morning, something like that. So that's the reason why you're supposed to sleep on time at a particular time, because everything works in harmony with the natural laws. And if sun rises, only sun rises in the daytime, and there is a night and a day. So likewise, we also ideally have to be in harmony with the laws of nature, with the changes that happen around us, because we are a part of it. So during the sleep, first thing is your consciousness is surrounded around vital organs in the nighttime, and daytime our sensory nerves, nervous system, or nerves are active. Also during the nighttime, we breathe throughout the day, throughout, but we are ideally born and we are designed to naturally follow diaphragmatic breathing. But what happens is, because of stress, certain lifestyle changes, we forget diaphragmatic breathing, and we kind of get accustomed and we get habituated to what is called chest breathing. Chest breathing comes when there's a lot of stress. I have an article on that. You can probably browse in my blog section in my website. There I've written about diaphragmatic breathing. So diaphragmatic breathing is the natural way of breathing, and if you do, and this is best experience when we are lying down and when we are sleeping and with no tension around. That's when diaphragmatic breathing happens. So both these combined is, there's a law which says the body has the self-healing mechanism. Our body is built in such a way, that it can self-heal. So of the many reasons, these are a few reasons that contribute to the self-healing concept of our human body. The other aspects are, this was why we sleep. Now coming to why do we dream. So let me expand this chart. So what happens is, during the dreams, one second, I'll just close this. During our dreams, it is said that when we sleep, we move to a body called an astral body. Now, as per the energy, everything around us is energy, and all such readings, all such concepts, as per the energy world, energy theory, quantum physics, etc. There are more bodies surrounding the human body, or there are, like we have a physical body, we have an energy body, is heard and understood. Likewise, we also have something called an astral body. So it is said that when we sleep, when we are dreaming, we move to a body called the astral body. Now this astral body is there with us throughout the entire, it's with us even during the daytime, but it becomes more active while we are sleeping. So when we dream, we move to the astral body, and then the astral body is more active during the sleep. This astral body is called the body of emotions and desires. This body is the body where it stores all our wishes, our desires, our emotions, etc. So it's like a jacket, or it's like a whole, how do I say, it's like one big shell of all the emotions that we have, all the desires that we have, all the wishes we want, those wishes which may or may not be possible in our physical life, those kind of thoughts we have, those emotions we have. Sometimes we express, sometimes we don't. What happens when we don't express them? They stay in this emotional world, even if we do not express, they stay with us in forms of thoughts, even if we do not express. So these unattended or unexpressed desires, thoughts which are not allowed in our waking state, they still exist, and during our dream these become alive and these become active there. And that's why we dream. That's and these are the contents of our dream. Many a times we do not understand these contents because we are not that evolved to understand what our dream was all about, but there are certain reasons, patterns, meanings when we see or have a dream. So these unattended, not allowed wishes, desires, thoughts, etc., they form a part of our dream. Okay. Next is I'm adding meditation bit, to explain how meditation aids in this journey of our dream. So what happens to a person who meditates? A person who meditates on a daily basis, he needs less sleep. And why is it so? Because what happens, like I said, in our dream there are a lot of unattended wishes, desires, emotions that get processed. So now when a person is meditating, he becomes more familiar with the thoughts or contents that is there in his mind. So for example, if you have say 100 thoughts a day, just an example. So if you meditate, meditation is like centering our thoughts, watching our thoughts, reducing our thoughts, something like that. So when you have 100 thoughts, let's say, so when you are meditating, these 100 thoughts gets reduced to say 80 or 70. So those 30 or 40 thoughts have got addressed in the meditation. Addressed in the sense, these unconscious thoughts gets addressed or witnessed in the meditation. So there is less need for unconscious processing time during our sleep. Like I said, we are processing these thoughts in our sleep. So when you are meditating, you are kind of addressing these thoughts already, and these thoughts are taken away from that bucket of those thoughts which would have ideally, or which would, if you do not address them here, will ideally come in your dreams. So if you meditate, most of your thoughts get addressed. Not most, a part of your thoughts get addressed. So like I said, and then it's easier for the person who meditates. Here I've mentioned a yogi. So it becomes easier for that person to willfully go to sleep, easier sleep. And because of this sleep cycle gets reduced. Instead of sleeping for say 7.5 hours that I mentioned here, you can sleep for some 4 to 5 hours a day. That is a progression that you have if you meditate on a daily basis. So this 4 to 5 hours further can be reduced to 3 hours, and then you can also, what very advanced meditators do is, instead of sleeping, there's something called yoga nidra. You can Google. If a person can reach to that level of, he's processing his thoughts and his thoughts are getting addressed in the meditation, then once he goes to sleep, instead of doing a normal sleep, he can do a yoga nidra. Nidra is sleep. The meaning of nidra is sleep, and yoga is meditation. So sleep meditation also happens. So you can Google this. This is an advanced state. Next is, this. It's said dream cycle is therapeutic if you do it right. If you don't get scary dreams like I said initially, where you are running for your life. Likewise. Next is coming to the mind. When we are dreaming, our mind is also involved. So there are two parts of the mind. We have the conscious and the unconscious. I'm referring just to these two. So in the conscious mind is used when we are awake, to make our decisions, to respond to situations around us. There's something called the unconscious mind, which is unused during the day. And this becomes active during our sleep and during dreams. Now the next part is, so this was about just wanted to briefly mention about the conscious and which part of the mind is active during sleep. Now the quality of sleep, as I said, during meditation, If you are accepting your thoughts, so when you're accepting your thoughts, it reduces, and when it reduces, your quality of sleep enhances because you have less to dream of. So the time spent in resting or really sleeping gets better, and it is the time spent resting is more easier, better, and you're really sleeping. In terms of spiritually, how does it help, or what we can talk about it spiritually? So spiritually, when the soul comes to earth or takes an incarnation, it comes to grow and learn certain lessons. The soul is on earth to learn and to grow. So what growth are we talking about here? Let me just expand this. So never mind. So when we say grow and learn, so the soul is here on earth to learn and to grow. And like we said, when the physical body has its limitations, the physical body goes off to sleep after a routine day of work. So what does the soul do? The soul is boundaryless. It's limitless. So soul is not restricted to that physical body that he or she has. So the soul, once the body goes to sleep, can go anywhere. So that's when it travels to the astral body. I mentioned here, the astral body is when the soul, and there it goes to learn, because there's more to learn there. Actually, there's so much more to learn, but I'll just keep it brief. So the soul moves to other bodies. It doesn't restrict just to the physical body. And the same, the soul travels to other bodies. That was the spiritual aspect. Next is some practical things I have noted down, like to have a better sleep and to have not the horrible dreams, to have good peaceful dreams. It's good to say a prayer and sleep. It's when our elders say pray and sleep, it's not just randomly said. It's said because there are meanings and there are reasons to that. So what kind of prayers you can do? You can say a soul prayer. You can Google and you can find a soul prayer. You can do a soul prayer. And there are also these, we've many a times learned, if you have a manifestation list, a desire list, read it before you go to sleep, because that's when the the manifestation happens sooner. So try this. What you can also do is, sometimes there are certain dreams which repeat and which keep coming frequently in your dreams. So if possible, maintain a diary, if you can remember your dream the next day, maintain a diary and just have it written, because if I had seen a dream yesterday and I may not recall it today, but if you write it down and see it after a month, you will see that you may have seen the same dream, say for 5 times, 10 times, and that is a pattern. And if you understand and if you can decipher the meaning of the dream, then you can probably answer some aspect of or a problem in your life. So I do that. It is a good practice to, if you recollect, remember, it's I don't mean all random dreams, dreams which when you wake up you didn't understand, or you wanted to kind of understand what the dream was all about. So those kind of, where you have a question mark kind of a thing, you can note down such dreams. Certain characters or events from your dream, like for example, if you see an animal in your dream, it may specify something, like snakes. If you see snakes, I've read in a book, it's snakes for a spiritual aspirant could be an awakening. There are many layers in Kundalini awakening. So it doesn't mean that you see a snake means Kundalini is, but it kind of gives you a direction or some pointer that if you see a small snake, a small layer may have got awakened. It's just an example. These were a few things about sleep and dreams, basically why we sleep and why we dream, and once we dream, why do we see such weird stuff which we do not understand, and where do we travel when we sleep. the astral body that we travel to. There are many theories about astral body, astral travel, etc. So I might cover that in some other video.